Scene 1, take 3, A mark. Take 1.
Hi, today we're going to learn how to use effects in Audacity. We're going to use pitch change, reverb, and panning. Okay? I can't wait to get started. What you see here is me reading a 50-word microfiction story, and I'll play it through once so you can see what it sounds like when we start.
The youth stomped in disjointed unison through the crowded shopping complex. They had their target in their sights and wouldn't relent until they had done what they set out to do. She was scared. Running from the hooded gang, she stopped and was cornered. "Miss, you forgot your handbag."
Okay, so we've got this part here, which is the narrator. We've got this part here, which is one of the characters. And the whole thing is taking place in a shopping center, like a shopping mall, a big space. So we're going to need to make a few changes. The first thing I want to do is to isolate this piece so that I can manipulate it and be separate from the whole rest of it. I'm going to do that by splitting between the narrator's piece and this piece. I'm going to grab my I bar, click in between the two, and use the key command, Command I or Control I, depending on if you're on a Mac or PC. Using my time shifter tool now, you can see that this is a separate piece of audio from this part. I'm also going to add another track so that I can put this piece on that track and be able to make some other effects. Because this is two waveforms, I see that I have a left speaker and right speaker signal. So this is a stereo track. Go up to Tracks and add new stereo if you also see two tracks across. If you see only one, that's a mono track, and you would just add mono track instead. All right, so I've got this. I'm going to copy it. That's this tool, copy, and I want to come down here and paste it, and that's that tool right there, paste. I'm going to right now mute this because I don't want you to hear that just yet. We're going to compare. So select the part you want to change the pitch on, and then go to Effect, Change Pitch. The change pitch interface has two different ways for you to manipulate the pitch. If you have a lot of musical knowledge, you can actually use this and use a musical signature and change the pitch with music theory understanding. If you are like me and don't have that kind of background, just come down here to the frequency slider and grab that slider. It should start out at 0, and so if you want to make it higher, give it a positive number, and then hit preview.
"Miss, you forgot your handbag."
Or if you wanted to go lower, you could use a negative value.
"Miss, you forgot your handbag."
Okay, when you get it the way that you want, and you can change this as many times during this process, but when you get it the way you want, click OK. All right, now let's hear it before and after. I'm going to solo this out.
"Miss, you forgot your handbag."
And now we'll listen to it again.
"Miss, you forgot your handbag."
So I think I did it. I think I definitely made that different from the original, and I'm going to get rid of this one and just hit the X, the scissor there. Okay, great. That's pitch change. If you come back later and decide that you don't like that pitch change, instead of coming back here and choosing change pitch again, you would have to come under edit and undo, because you don't want to put one pitch change on top of another. The next effect that I'd like to add is a little bit of sort of echo. There are two ways you can do that. I'm going to apply that effect to this part, not my narrator, just my character. And so I'm going to come up here to Effect, and I could choose Echo. You can see there's not a lot of controls here, so it really doesn't give you the kind of accuracy in the way you apply that you could in another interface. So I'm going to hit Cancel. come up here to Effects and hit Reverb. Reverb lets you create the sound given the size of the room. So if you're in a small room, it's going to sound different than if you're speaking in a great big room. Like right now, it sounds like this.
Miss, you forgot your handbag.
That's a very small room, but you can hear a little bit of reverb happening. If I make my room size bigger, like a gymnasium or a stairwell that had lots of hard surfaces, that sound would be bouncing all around. So I'd move the slider way up.
Miss, you forgot your handbag.
You hear how that sounds? Really reverby. We've got a lot of sound bouncing back at us. It's a little too much for me. I think I'm going to move it back down here, maybe 10.
Miss, you forgot your handbag.
Yeah, maybe a little bit less. I don't want a huge amount.
Miss, you forgot your handbag.
Okay. And I'm going to click OK. So did you see that the wave form here has changed? If you decide you don't want it, come back up under Effect and Undo, and then you can apply other effects if you want. Okay. Anytime you add an effect, that's it. It is permanently applied to that track. In order to undo it, you have to literally go edit and undo before retrying the application of an effect. All right, the last effect I want to add is called panning. Panning means that the audio is coming out of either the right or the left. Just like with video that you can pan left and right, with audio you can do the same. So right now, if I play this,
The youth stomped in disjointed unison through the...
it should sound like the audio is coming out of both speakers equally. If I move this panning slider, which is down here in the track control section, to the left,
The youth stomped in disjointed unison through the...
it should sound like the audio is coming out of the left speaker. Same thing with the right. If you move the slider to the right,
The youth stomped in disjointed...
it will send the signal to the right speaker. So you can make these choices. I'm going to have this sort of more on the right than the left, only so that I can add contrast, because this one, I'm going to move that one all the way to the left. Okay, and let's hear how that sounds.
Running from the hooded gang, she stopped and was cornered.
Miss, you forgot your handbag.
Great. So I'm moving from speaker to speaker. I've got some reverb applied. I did a pitch change. To make this feel more real, I want what's called ambient sound. So I'm going to put in some background sound of a shopping center. I'm going to first mute my 2 tracks that I have because I don't want that playing while I'm recording. I'm going to go to YouTube here and choose an ambient sound effect. You notice that I've got that word right there in my search criteria. I want shopping mall ambience. That means the sound of the environment, as if you turned on the microphone there in the shopping mall and let it record whatever sounds happen to come along. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to add a new track. It will probably record mono because that's how it's coming from the internal microphone, and I only have one mic inside there. So I'm going to get ready. Come over here. I'm going to hit play and record. Do you notice that I recorded a little bit for the before the narrator speaks and then a little bit after the story ends? This allows me to fade it in and fade it out, and just gives me more freedom to make creative decisions like that. Now I need to unmute and do the most important thing. I need to listen to the sound of the spoken word against the sound of the ambient noise. My question to you is this. Look at the size of the sound wave from the spoken word. Look at the size of the sound wave from the ambience. Are we going to be able to hear the narrator speaking over this noise? Without even listening to it, with just looking at it, I'm betting that this is going to be a little bit too soft, that I'm going to have to turn that ambient sound down. But we'll see.
The youth stomped in disjointed unison.
Yeah, that's definitely too loud here. So I want to grab my envelope tool and control the volume very carefully. I do want to have louder noise before the narrator speaks. Then I want it to get soft while the narrator is speaking, and possibly come back up and be a little noisier in here in between phrases of the story. Okay. In order to control it with those sort of fine-tuned decisions, I have to use this, which is the envelope tool. Envelope tool is really easy. It lets you just click and then drag, and you can make decisions for how loud things should be, as if the sound wave were silly putty. Okay, let's see what that sounds like.
The youth stomped in disjointed unison through the crowded shopping complex. They had their target in their sights and wouldn't relent until they had done what they set out to do. She was scared. Running from the hooded gang, she stopped and was cornered.
Miss, you forgot your handbag.
I like that. I do think maybe I want to come here toward the end and have it fade out totally. In the beginning, this might be a little too loud. I might also want to add a little bit of footsteps because the kids are running after her. Let's see how it sounds.
Running from the hooded gang, she stopped and was cornered.
Miss, you forgot your handbag.
And there we go. And that's all there is to it. You can have pitch changes, you can have panning, and you can have reverb. Really easy using your computer and Audacity. I can't wait to hear what creative things you come up with. Have fun.